Oh hey, Backyard Bob, back again. Today I'm working on this old workbench. Gonna get it nice. Hey guys, welcome back. Backyard Bob, I'm glad you're back. I know it's been a while since I put out a video, quite a few months. I'd like to say I've been on a sabbatical, a spiritual journey trying to find myself, but that's just not the case. It's Florida, it's hot, it's finally cooling down. Life's just been kicking me in the and anyway, we're back to it with another project. So today I'm going to tackle my old workbench. If you've seen my other videos, you know this is where my work commences. I want to get this thing fixed up. I literally slapped this thing together in 20 minutes, haphazardly, not even knowing or caring what I was doing. Just slapped it together, and she's pretty stout. She works pretty good, but I want 3 key upgrades with this table. 1, I want it to be flatter. 2, I want it to be built a little better. And 3, I want it to be mobile. I want to be able to roll it around, get it out of the way, take it somewhere else, whatever. But that's what we're doing today. Fixing her up. Let's do it. First step of this project, I need to begin disassembling. I'm going to start by taking all these bottom slats off. They just came off of a pallet and I just threw them on there for whatever reason. We don't need them no more. Then I'm going to flip the table over and start disassembly from the bottom and see what we're working with. Part of the reason why I want the bench to be mobile, a lot of crap builds up back there. I want to be able to roll it out of the way and clean it up. So the bottom of the framing, you can see I just got it wrapping around. I'm going to do the same concept with that, but the top's what I really want to address. I had it attached. I put all the boards together, and then I screwed this 2x4 on there just to hold them all together. And then to attach the legs, I put these little brackets on here, and you know, whatever, it worked. But what I want to do with this, get all the boards disassembled, and I want to get them smoothed out on all 4 sides as best as I can. I'm not going to be super perfect with it. I also don't have a jointer, so I'm just going to rip them down with a table saw, try to get them cleaned up a little better. That way they fit tighter together. I'll glue them all together, probably put some pocket hole screws, sink it all together, and then I'm going to build a new frame to go around and then build some new legs to go in there. So nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. When all else fails, you bring the really big hammer out. Well, that was easy. Good chow. Might have a couple of hidden screws left in this one. We'll get it. Alright, so far everything has just been a giant pain in the ass taking apart. I've had this table assembled for probably 3 years now, so all the screws are nice and rusty. Apparently I use brad nails. They're just, everything's breaking off, everything's stripped. It is what it is though, we'll get it done. Time to get this off. I'm going to save you the frustration, the anger, and the cussing, and I'm going to get that off camera because it's not going to be fun. So I'll see you in a little bit. So the easiest way that I found to get this wood off, get yourself a chisel, punch, and the big old trusty hammer. And I split the wood, got in one of the cracks, split the wood all down the screw line. Now I can come back and take the screws out, figure out how to get those out. But as far as the wood, that's the way to do it. All the boards are free. Look at that. Look how nasty that is. That's nasty. Alright, next thing we're going to do, we're going to joint them through the table saw so I can get some nice flat edges and get this put together. Alright, so both my attempts to rip down the face of each board is not going very well. I got the blade up as far as it'll go, which is technically 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches for a 4x4, but it's not working. Too much drag on the blade, too much flex, whatever. So I'm gonna go halfway, rip it, flip it, rip it, and then we'll see how it goes from there. I know there's a right way to do it with a jointer, planer, all that stuff. I don't have it, so gotta make do with what we got. And like I said, it's not gonna be perfect. I just want it better than what it was. So let's try this again. Alright, after a ton of fence adjustments and a ton of running it through, I think I got it to where I want it to be. A lot of blade burns. The saw is very underpowered for doing this kind of work, especially on this treated 4x4. It's got the height capacity to do it, it just don't have the power to do it. So this is going to be a long process getting these all ripped down. And you know, it's not the right way to do it, but it's the way I'm doing it. Because like I said, I don't care how perfect it is, it's just going to be what it's going to be. So, with that being said, I got like 6 more boards to do. This is going to take forever. Whew. Yeah, here we go. This is the look of defeat. Table saw, no bueno, not working. So, time to move on to a different way. Planing, not with a benchtop planer or a benchtop jointer. Like I said, hand planing, but not just any hand plane, an electric hand plane. So yeah, totally forgot. I got this Craftsman electric planer. You know, it's not a real big one, it's just a little 6 amp one. Did a test run on a couple of these boards, didn't get it completely flat, which, you know, I'm sure I could if I really worked at it, but that's okay. You know, it's a lot better than it was because the boards were kind of wavy, you know what I'm saying. But as long as I get it flat enough where I'm happy with how they joint together, then we should be in business. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this sucker down the rest of these boards, and we'll see what we got going from there. I'm thinking once I get it to a point that I'm somewhat happy with it, I'll get all the boards attached together, get the tabletop flipped over, and I'll probably just run the planer along the whole damn thing and see if I can get it somewhat smoother from that point on. Here we go again. Woo! Yeah, this definitely makes a mess. Getting to use my new Merlin high capacity blowgun, air gun, whatever you want to call it, from Harbor Freight. This thing is pretty cool. It's got a bunch of different attachments. You can change the nozzle, all that jazz. It's got like 3 different tips. It's pretty cool. I like it. Anyway, back to the woodworking. Holy cannoli, that was a lot of work. Yeah, so basically I got 3 out of the 4 sides planed down. Not perfect, but a lot better than it was, trust me. The gaps in the table before were outrageous. So much dirt, sawdust, ants, critters going down in there. So that's pretty bad. I didn't do the bottom side just because of nails, screws, staples, whatever had broken off in the bottom, and I don't really want to wreck my planer. So with the 3 sides, I'm hoping with some screws, I'm probably going to run some pocket hole screws. That's going to be a lot of pocket holes to be drilling in there, but I'm thinking I'm going to do just a few, maybe 4 down each board. A lot of wood glue, clamp the hell out of it. Hopefully we'll bring it a lot closer than what it was. Might be a little chipped, but you know, I just kind of got to go with the flow with this one. It's not fun working with this kind of wood in the shape it's in, and also not having all the right tools, but it is what it is. So we're gonna see what happens with that, but for now I'm calling it a night. I'm tired. That took a lot of work out of me. Tater chip. But yeah, and plus time change, so it's gonna be dark in like 5 minutes. Pitch black. So I'll catch you next time. Should've just bought new wood. Alright, we are back. It's time to do the pocket holes. I'm gonna use my Craig R3 jig. It's a little handheld portable jig. I have the Masca more portable jig. I think it's the M2 or whatever it is, I don't know. But there ain't no way I'm gonna be able to set that up on all these boards. No, ain't happening. So we'll just do the handheld. Probably not even gonna clamp it down. Just gonna kind of get wavy with it, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's get started with that. Definitely don't recommend this. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. I need to clamp. All right. Well, first set of holes absolutely terrible because you see the wood's all toast there. So oh well, here's what it is. Moving on. This is going to take absolutely forever. If only there was a way, magically, for it to be done. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, well apparently the pocket holes are done. But anyway, I'm not going to complain. Now we need to work on the glue up. Now when you're working on, let's say, a project outdoors, you want to use Titebond 3 or a waterproof and exterior grade wood glue. Same would go with the pocket hole screws. You need to use exterior pocket hole screws, but I don't have any, and I'm going to use interior ones. It'll be fine. So get some glue down, spread it out, let's get it going. Got a little bit of a slight bow on this outer board, so I wanted to put that clamp over there before I put this one on. Help suck that in some, and then I'm going to draw it in the rest of the way with this clamp. Alright, so I've only got a clamp down with 4 parallel clamps. That's all the big parallel clamps I got. They're expensive, you already know. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pocket hole screws in. I might have a couple F-style clamps that I can put on here, just a little extra clamping pressure between all the clamps, and then I'm going to run the pocket hole screws in, and then yeah, we're going to let it dry, and hopefully it should be a nice solid hank when we're done. But anyway, you get the gist. Pocket holes. Big mama's up out of the clamps. Time to get started on the framing, get some legs on this thing. Let's do it. Well, I made a mistake. As I was screwing the framing together, I wasn't paying attention to the end pieces, and I put them on upside down. The pocket holes are facing up, not down, so that's the way it goes. Whew. Cold a couple days ago, and now I'm sweating. Story of my life. Alright, so we got the framing done on the tabletop. I threw in a center support there, just a little extra strength. Pocket hole screwed in every single board. This thing's pretty stout and heavy, and I just dropped one of my supports, which is the table legs. Woo! Teeter totter. So I think we're gonna work on the legs next. So with the legs, I'm thinking crap ton of glue, especially on these corners here and on the bottom. I know you're not going to get a lot of strength with the end grain, but something's better than nothing. Tuck her up in there nicely, screw, probably three screws, and then I'm going to throw a couple pocket holes on the inside to attach it to the top. Probably a better way to do that, but you know, that's the way I'm going with, so we're gonna go with it. First thing I want to do though, I got some big old casters to put on this thing, so I need to take the measurement off of them, cut the legs down accordingly, because I don't want a workbench that's really freaking tall or really short, so gotta get it right. Yeah, here we go. It's pretty stout. So I'm gonna get these other legs on, give the glue some time to dry overnight, and we'll tackle the rest of this on another day. I think it's gonna be pretty nice. Definitely a lot better. Alright, I got the legs put on. I went ahead and put a bottom frame on off camera. That was easy, just cut and screw on. Now we're gonna get started on the casters that go on this beast. So I've got these huge 8-inch casters that I'm gonna put on this workbench. It's gonna roll nice. My only problem was figuring out how to attach it to the workbench, because it's got these huge holes in the bottom that a regular screw will just go right through. So I want to use like a bolt or something, and I don't have any lag screws. So I'm racking my brain trying to figure it out, and I forgot I had some of these nut inserts. You basically drill a hole and these thread in, and then you can thread a bolt into the insert. And that was all well and great, but I didn't have washers that were big enough to fit in the caster. So I had to make my own washers with aluminum flat bar. That was tedious, making 16 of them, but whatever, it works. So what I'm going to do is I cut little scrap squares of wood. I'm going to get these drilled into the bottom. Then I'm going to get all the holes drilled for the nut inserts, put the legs on, screw them down. Woo! Put a little CA glue in the holes just to help hold them. And then you just drive them home. Voila. Would you check this out? Mobile, son. Now as far as the top, I'm not 100% satisfied. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Definitely a lot better. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly love it either. It's definitely a lot smoother than it was. This side's actually a little better than that side. Some of the boards kind of sagged down, but that's alright. I may go back and plane this entire top. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to film it though. But yeah, she's done. So I might just do the finishing touches. I might plane the top. Go ahead and put a stain on here, some outdoor finish. And yeah, we're going to call it a wrap. Nope, couldn't leave it. Had to plane it, had to sand it, and you know what? I'm glad I did, because although I did it by hand with an electric plane, and I did about 10,000 passes that way, that way, that way, that way. Whew, man, it was well worth it, because this thing is like flat. All right, it ain't 100%. It's probably 97.8, which is close enough for me, especially for an outdoor workbench. I know I said I was done, but I couldn't leave it. Couldn't leave it. So I'm gonna put a stain on this thing. I was thinking about doing like an Australian timber oil, but then I was gonna take it one step further and I was gonna coat it with Flex Seal. Yeah, how about that? I might do that. That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like all rubber. Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, the next time you see this bench, it's gonna be done. I promise. Now we are finally done. Stains on, flex seal top. I know what you're thinking. The top kind of looks a little crappy, and I'll agree with you. I'm not going to argue at all. Now the good, bad, and ugly with the finish. The Australian Timber Oil, it was great. Went on good. I love the color of it. It might be an acquired taste, but personally I like it. I'm going to use it for more outdoor projects. The Flex Seal went on great. It's very thick, very goopy. And it's rock hard. It's solid. It's a nice rubbery texture. It's going to be well protected from the elements. Now applying the Flex Seal is where I went wrong. Now they say you can roll it, you can brush it, you can pour it on. There's many different ways you can do it. I chose to roll it on, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I used the wrong roller. I used a paint roller, and it was one of the heavy nap paint rollers. And what happened is a bunch of the fibers came out of the roller, because this stuff is so thick. As I was rolling it on, it was just pulling the fibers out and embedding it into the top. And really there was nothing I could do, because this stuff was so thick and I couldn't get it out. Should have used a foam roller. I know that for next time, and I probably would have known that if I did a little research beforehand, but I was kind of in a rush to get it done, and you live and learn. I also put it on way too thick. I did it in one coat. I should have did multiple coats, at least 2 or 3. You know, I put it on way too thick. It bubbled up because I wanted a real thick finish, because the table's outdoors. It's going to get rained on. It's going to get sun, leaves, all that good stuff. So I wanted it thick. I wanted it well protected, and I should have did 2 coats at least. You know, thin coat, thin coat. But the downfall of that is you got to let each coat completely dry, and it's like 24 to 36 hours. Depending on weather and humidity and stuff like that. I figured I'd just put it on thick and be done with it. And that was a mistake. But, you know, it's a learning process. I know for next time, and maybe it'll help you if you ever decide that you want to try using something like this. Don't put it on real thick, and use a foam roller. But other than that, yeah, she's going to be well protected, that's for sure. And overall, I'm still happy with how it came out. We all make mistakes. I'm not afraid to admit it. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that bell icon, wherever it's at. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.